My name is Damali Ssali, and I welcome you to this episode of the Ideation Corner. The Ideation Corner is a space where ideas are discussed and dissected. And today I host Gerald Katabazi. Gerald is the owner of Volcano Coffee, which is a specialty Ugandan coffee. Gerald is passionate about changing the behaviors of roasting and the roasting culture in Uganda. He's also very interested in developing the skills of ghetto youth who are in urban and rural areas so that they can participate and gainfully benefit from the coffee value chain. Gerald started off his career at Cafe Pub, then he moved to the Serena Kampala Hotel, the Serena Kigali Hotel, and after that he worked with the Rwanda government to help it establish the Bourbon Coffee brand, which is now a global brand. Gerald is also an annual contributor to the World Bank doing business in Africa, particularly looking at the coffee value chain, and he has won several awards, including the Uganda Authentic Coffee Roasters Award, the Young Farmers Coalition Award, and the United Nations National Coffee Value Chain Award. Finally, Gerald is also a Mandela Washington Fellow. I am very happy to host Gerald on my Ideation Corner today. Gerald, thank you so much for hosting me in your pub. I'm glad that we're here. So thank you for hosting me.
Thank you so much, Damali, and thank you for visiting our specialty brand. And well, as you really mentioned, it's a story to tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people, including me, I don't know exactly what you mean by specialty coffee.
It's now a global trend. When we talk of specialty coffee, we are talking of traceable beans. Traceable beans, these are beans that are backed up by a story from the farm gate up to the consumer level. So specialty coffee is a definition. I can give a quick definition that it is how coffee is processed, how coffee is milled, how coffee is brewed, someone who is brewing it, and who benefits what. So as a consumer, when you're holding your cup of coffee in your hands, like that in that early morning or in the evening, there's at least a small margin that back on the farm gate, a farmer benefits. So when I mentioned that specialty coffee, it's extremely large looking at the supply chain, how the coffee was processed, how it was milled to the end user or the end receiver who is a consumer.
Okay.
Yes.
So are you saying that, say, we have your Volcano coffee?
Yes.
The whole value chain, you're involved in it?
Yes.
To the farmer?
Yes.
And when I buy your coffee,
yes,
the farmer will definitely is guaranteed to benefit?
Yes.
Okay.
Volcano Coffee is a specialty coffee brand, yes, in Uganda, pioneering this with a number of good farmers across the country. We are closely working with 500 coffee farmers in areas of Rwenzori, Elgon, areas of Southwest, that's Kisoro, areas of West Nile. So we are acting and working as a flagship brand to rebrand the coffee sector or the coffee products that are originating from these mountains or from these coffee growing zones. So when it comes to marketing, we are creating an identity using the footprints, using along the supply chain within that kind of network.
So for your specialty coffee, you know the farmer who grew the bean?
Yes.
Okay, that's very, very interesting.
Yes, specialty coffee, as I said briefly, like it's an experience. It's not a matter of like walking into a coffee establishment and then ask for a latte or a cappuccino and then grab and then go. When you're at a specialty counter, there are different stories that you're supposed to listen. These are the stories that culminates from the growing zones. One, how these farmers go, the hardship they go through, to of course make you happy, personally back then. Then we also look at who is brewing it. You understand? For instance, at here Volcano Coffee, it's a full-fledged cafe with an academy. We skill the young people in brewing behaviors, but we are skilling these young people in brewing behaviors using specialty concepts. So we are teaching them that this is how you market coffee. To market coffee, of course, you need a story that backs up your product. So it's an entire experience when you're at Volcano Coffee. So we are here, to change the concept and also to make true definition of how coffee should be consumed.
Okay.
Yes.
So when I was doing the introduction, I mentioned the fact that you're very interested, of course, in changing the behavior, the roasting, even the consumption culture in Uganda. Because we're not big consumers of coffee. It's unfortunate. We grow it, but then we don't consume it. Tell me more about that.
Yes, it's so absurd. It's so absurd to see that we produce what we can't consume. And not only Uganda, it's entire cutting across the entire continent. There's no reason why we should farm what we can't consume. So myself, I came up with an idea like it's possible to consume what we produce, and when we're doing so, there are lots and lots of benefits definitely we earn as a country. One, we strengthen our economy. Our economy, of course, will have a bargaining power in terms of the currency, in terms of cutting the inflations, because this is an area that really looks at the policies to do with monetary, and then adding value to the currency that is used to transact etc. So secondly, when we consume, we create unlimited jobs from the point of the farming, from the point of the milling, from the point of the processing, from the point of the logistics, shipping, from the point of roasting, from the point of grinding, packaging. You understand? All these are unlimited jobs we're talking about. So I'm like, no, instead of exporting the green coffee or the raw material, let's figure out how can come to terms to technical details, roast it ourselves, and we'll be able to consume it. That way we're having a total experience, So a farmer will, of course, smile. An entrepreneur like I, of course, I'll smile. And the person who loves coffee like you will also, hold a cup full of happiness, full of flavors, full of experiences, and you also appreciate it. Yes. So our current position of coffee consumption locally is 4%.
Just
yes,
4%?
Just 4%. We are talking of 4% that is not data-based, backed up research. It's by guess, it's in quotes. So, and we're talking of 4% that is consumed in Kampala. Outside Kampala, you won't have figures anymore. So, it's a discussion, it's a conversation that we are trying to stretch and getting involving, the stakeholders. You understand? So, if you involve the stakeholders, definitely the situation will change. Yes, for the better.
So I'm trying to go back to that point where you talked about where we export the bean, and given all the benefits you just listed in all those processes, in a way we are also exporting the jobs. We are losing the jobs to the person we are exporting the coffee bean to. So what do you think, and even the byproducts, because every process then has byproducts which can be used. So what is your sector doing about that?
It's quite a large discussion. It's big. It's a discussion that largely looking at how the sector is clustered. First of all, it's a discussion that it's national, because first of all it attracts capital. It's capital intense.
Okay.
We are looking at the infrastructures. The reason we are exporting the raw material is because we don't have infrastructures
to process it,
to complete the chain.
Okay.
And we are lucky that the exporters are multi-internationals. They have been exposed, and now you get the answer to why they are dying definitely to export the raw material. You understand? The 37 coffee exporting companies we have in Uganda, I can tell you that, or I can let you know that top 10 of these companies are multi-internationals.
Okay.
These are Germany, coffee processing companies. These are Belgians. These are French people. So they have their own benefits and beliefs, to why they are exporting the raw materials. However, I'm not saying that we shouldn't export. Export is also good to our side. And the reason we're exporting
is because we don't have the
even
infrastructure
our production including that. But then our production capacity is low. We're talking of 4 million bags. That's the reason now. That's a question I can also pose you. Why should we die exporting 4 million bags against a population of 44 million? You definitely have a market back home.
Oh, you can consume it yourself.
Yeah. Like 44 million population, and then you have 4 million bags.
Yes.
I mean, look
you
look
can
around.
Consume it.
Yes, look around to see how you can figure out how you can turn it into a consumable product, then reverse it back to the market you have already. We are talking over 120 million East African population.
Right.
The population is around.
It's enough.
The market is huge. You understand? If Ugandans are failing to consume it, go
You
to
can
South
sell
Sudan. Go drive the product to Tanzania. Be ready to compete. You know, the point is, are you creating impacts along the supply chain? Are the young people gaining jobs, getting jobs? You know, is the driver driving that coffee? Is the person roasting it having an activity to make him, you know, get busy? So, back to the question of 4 million bags and why we export, I don't see any sense. It only benefits a few cliques that, you know, who are just seated in their comfortable offices, of course, to do invoicing, you know, to do some businesses with these, you know, multi-internationals. That's all.
So do you know any reason why we have a very low coffee consumption culture? Because, for example, Ethiopia, they consume a lot of their coffee. Uganda, on the other hand, I am one of those few people who consumes coffee, but a lot of my friends actually do not consume coffee. And when you ask them, they've never consumed it before. They think it's dehydrating, and so they don't.
It's something to do. I've encountered that same question over time. It's something to do with the mindset. You know, our past colonists, these are, you know, British people. You know, during the time of, you know, when they existed in Uganda, of course, they formed a generation that was not well exposed in terms of ideas, you know, stuff, technical like that. These are our grandparents, I mean. And they took an advantage that Uganda is, you know, is a part of Africa. It, you know, it has got 2 seasons. You know, it harvests twice a year. So they took that advantage, you know, and it worked well for them. And they of course, they had to make sure that they washed our brains, our grandparents' brains, to attune that, no, look, you're not supposed to consume coffee. This is why we have actual terms to do with the cash crop.
Yeah, it's a cash crop.
You understand?
It's not for you, it's for cash.
While growing up, me, I started, during my primary, we did into our social studies, where we could be asked, can you name 3 types of cash crops we grow in Uganda? And of course, coffee was one of them.
Cotton, tea,
tobacco.
Yes, I even remember that. Yes.
The idea was, they made them cash crops such that our grandparents could farm, take them to the auction.
Okay.
What happens to the auction? Of course, they receipt. However, they advised, on your way back home, you can go back home with maybe juice. You understand?
Yeah.
Maybe you can go back with the gin, local gin or tea. You understand? So that's where the culture now started coming up.
Coffee is for sale.
Yes,
it's
for
not
sale,
for
not
consumption.
for consumption.
All right.
Not for
consumption.
Very good. Now, along the line, Ugandans could not drink their own, because they are being told that it's for export purposes. You understand? So who
it's only for export.
So eventually that's how we lost it. And now they came up with so many, including the myth that women should not drink coffee. You know, because they gave their own reasons, personal reasons, because they are trying to discourage the locals to consume coffee. Because when they consume coffee, the production for export decreases.
It all becomes less. If they consume their own coffee, they can't export it.
And on the other hand, someone should should question, why were they doing so? Because, well, coffee, we know it contains caffeine as a substance, and caffeine, you know, it's a brain booster. So you see, they are struggling with the weather conditions. It is in Europe. So with the coffee, of course, you are energetic. Your brain is running so fast. You are thinking hard. You're doing all that stuff. You know. So imagine now you have a producer who is consuming half of what you're supposed to have. It's a loss. So that's where the myth came. The story started.
Coffee is for export.
Exactly. That's why you see that we are a beer drinking nation. We're not concerned about, you know, what we produce. However, these are the few key bullets that we are trying to change at Volcano Coffee, involving the young people. You understand? So we involve the young person along the supply chain, giving the benefits, you know, telling the values of, you know, working to coffee farms or coffee production departments. It makes sense. So it's easy now to be changed using the next generation.
Okay.
Forget the past.
What about, say, okay, I won't say young generation because I'm not
Yes.
so young, but what would you say about my generation? Because I have my generation of people who don't drink the coffee because they still believe that myth, even though they have access to the internet, so they can easily read up and know that coffee is not dehydrating, coffee is actually good for you. They still believe that. Then the other beat of this generation also, they would rather drink Nescafe, Starbucks,
yeah.
So what are you doing about that? Are you ignoring that?
Now, you see, one of the challenges we have as a country, Uganda, I keep mentioning this, is how we are first of all handling the final product. Final product, I mean, for the ready for the consumers. We still don't have capacity to reach standards when it comes to the brewing behavior, to engage the brewing behaviors. A case here, I have a V60. It's a specialty manual brew. I'll take you through what it takes. We don't know as a country how to brew coffee. You understand? The brewing comes with a lot of tags. I mean, the ratios, the grind size, the talk of the roast profile, talk of the region. So there are quite a number of them. So you find that a consumer is interested to drink coffee and goes to the shelf. On the shelf, he picks a bag of coffee, but reaching home, it's crap. Yes. So not until we have people who are well capacitated to do the value addition processes to better. Yeah. Still, we are still struggling. All these are questions to first of all address. And how do we address? We need we need to first of all cluster the industry. Yeah, and then begin educating. By clustering the industry, you need like 3 people. These are the coffee farmers themselves. Teach them the best agronomy practices. You understand? Using the specialty concepts. If the farmer has been looking at 450 trees, there should be a reduction at that point. Because why should you have 450 trees on 1 acre of land where they are near close?
They're too close to each other.
Too close. When they get so compacted on the land, these are the you can't have a better crop because they are now sucking one another. You understand?
Okay.
So why should I would suggest let's have fewer trees on the farm. Then we can be able to have quality cups.
Okay.
That's 1. 2, you can involve the roasters to address the issue of quality. Yeah. When you have the roasters on the table and you're addressing the issue of quality, you have a uniformity of the cup. Uniformity, I mean over time the cup will remain the same.
Okay, it's
with
consistent.
Consistently.
Okay.
With the better notes, flavors, the body acid, all these attributes correctly moved. Then you have the person who is at the counter, who is brewing. You understand? A brewer plays a very great and a key role along the supply chain of coffee because it interfaces with the consumers now. This is education we're talking about. So the moment you address that,
the beginning of the value chain.
the 3 key boys in the sector, you have no issues to do with the negativity, the myths, because they'll be running the business uniformly. I give you a case to do with how Specialty Coffee Association of America is doing. It's the same.
Oh.
It is extending to Europe. It's in France, it's in the UK. Same, it's in Spain. So they are going on building those blocks for consumer benefits, education.
So there is a template that we can adopt as a country.
Yes. But as I said, coffee is not a cheap product. It attracts a lot of capital, so
it's capital intensive.
So partly, even us who are into private, you see, we are really trying as much as we can, but we can't reach that point. Yeah, we can't reach at that point where of course to make everyone happy, because the chain is huge, and each bullet along the chain, it has of course its own budget, so it attracts a heavy funding. So in terms of funds, we need everyone.
Okay,
the
everyone involved,
the players, the donor, everyone should come, such that we can be able to produce the results.
Okay.
Yes.
So how are you competing? Because yours is a specialty coffee. It's on the Ugandan shelves. How are you competing with the flood of international coffee brands that are also here?
It's a challenge again. It's something to do with the policy. I mean, why should a country like Uganda, that is second to Ethiopian coffee production, be importing
a coffee.
You know, I mean, so does not make any sense. Like an entrepreneur, I look at it as, you know, but again, it's a good question because how do I compete? I have to I make sure that my product is superb.
Is better than, okay.
Exactly, that's all.
Okay.
And I'm promoting it at the counter, same time it's on the shelf, but well, and it's affordable quality, and I don't even pose myself to questions to do with competition, because I know the content that is on the market. Me, I'm doing a different concept, first of its kind in Uganda, and they're doing the different concept that it has stayed for decades, so there's a difference.
Okay. Sure. So when I was going through your profile, I talked about how you came back home and decided to start Volcano Coffee, set up a cafe. What brought you to that? Why did you decide to do that?
Having been born from a coffee growing family background, I thought it would make sense for me as an individual to live with a purpose. Yeah. One, I know the value for coffee, because coffee has put me where I am. Without it, I wouldn't be where I actually wouldn't be seated together here like this, having this engagement. Yeah. That's one. Two, coffee I've read, I've studied, and I've seen how it uplifts others to better lives. So the reason of coming back was, of course, to contribute, but to contribute differently now, using different concepts that are, are today's, conversations. That's why you can't ask me for something to do with a commercial product and then I'm able to produce it, because I don't like commercial coffees. I'm purely a specialty. So when I'm talking of specialty, I really want consumers to embrace it, to understand it, to know that whenever they are holding a cup of coffee like this, there's a value that goes back to the farm gate. That makes point. At the end of the end result, we want to see how the farmer is benefiting.
Definitely.
You understand?
Yeah.
And we are talking of farmers. When we come to gender, you should be told that 67% of the workforce activities are done by female.
In the coffee valley.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, at the primary section. Okay. But they are the same people that earn less because of the poor policies surrounding the product, the commodity. Because they are told, look here, since you don't own a farm, you don't own the land, now the land question comes in. That's a policy at the policy level. Everything that you see on the land is supposed to be for a man. And remember, the women are the mothers. They have, they have given birth to a number of kids. Forget 1, 2, 3. We are talking of women in the rural areas who have managed to birth like close to 11 plus kids. You understand? Has no choice but to go by the husband's home policies. So you find that there's a gender gap that you must fill. That's why when you come to Volcano Coffee, I only work with girls, because I'm really taken up by that.
I'm glad that you're gender sensitive.
I work with young girls because it's the question I want to address. That look, girls can be also be uplifted at some point.
They don't have only to be on the farm; they can be in the coffee value chain higher up.
They need space. They need space. Not only that I hate boys or men, I like them, but because of the economic situations in Uganda today, we have a problem to do with job scarcity, and that's why you have young boys and men ending up in the Gulf, in the UAE. So, however, it's very hard for a girl to skip and escape, maybe go to such countries.
Yes.
We of course, so it's value. Yeah, because if she's well trained and now bring this coffee, of course she's going to get a man and then get kids. It's very hard for a lady to get a passport and go to the UAE and maybe the Gulf to make to get a job. Okay. But we instead stay in the country and add value. Yes. So that's the approach I'm also applying into my business, and it's working. Okay. And I really have a feeling that it will continue adding value. Yes. True.
So you're saying, for someone who doesn't know much about these things, if I drink or if I buy Volcano Coffee, which is a specialty coffee,
yes,
I am directly contributing to the farmer.
Yes.
Compared to me buying any other commercial
out coffee. Of 100%. 50% of our profit margin goes back.
To the
Because we
farmer.
have a fair trade arrangement we've done with these guys,
Okay.
the farmers. Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
really interesting. I'm distracted by this
Yes.
setup. I would love for you to take me through.
Now, in specialty coffee, all these brewing devices you see around are meant to brew coffee. I mean, this is for instance, this is a grinder, but it's manual. So here I have a scale. A scale is applied in specialty coffee for consistency purposes. All I need is when you walk again into our shop, you're able to have the same cup profile you took last weekend. So it helps me, like, to control, because it has it has weight option, it has time, it has minutes and seconds. So, and in specialty coffee, we basically look at the cup as an important, as an important end product, because we want to satisfy a consumer. So when we're during the brewing processes, there's a lot of discussions, because some consumers tend to ask to know the detail. Why so this?
Okay.
Why is this region? Why because of our marketing strategies, we tend to go deep into explaining to them, what it means.
Okay.
You understand? So today, I'll demonstrate to you how, one of the brewing device functions, and have a test on its coffee and see for yourself. So it's an experience. We hope that we shift the coffee culture in Uganda to the tune of the, US, Europe specialty behaviors.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's really interesting. I mean, so this is something I can't do at home, clearly.
You can.
But I would need all these things.
No. You need the own. While they are here, they are doing the same activity.
Oh, okay.
But differently. Some prefer it strong. When it's strong coffee, definitely you need to adjust on the grind size. You need to to adjust on the water ratios.
Okay.
Yeah, all these combined, they contribute massively to the cup. So we have different taste buds. So how you want it is not the way I want it. You understand?
Okay.
So others prefer it strong, others prefer it medium or lighter. So look at this. It attracts a medium light roast.
Okay.
That's one. And it has to be a little bit strong. And then we have this, which is a chemix.
Okay.
That also does the manual brew. And it also attracts a medium coarse a little bit. So its coffee will come up, but a little bit light.
Okay.
So today we are using a V60, which is one of the, to me, and to the in-house consumers prefer most.
Okay.
Because how it is designed, it looks very nice, beautiful. So, and most specialty coffee baristas tend to love it. Imagining that you are seeing a coffee dripping.
Yeah,
so
you can see.
Here we go.
Oh, cool.
So here we go, and I have a mocha pot. This is also very good, user friendly. This mocha pot only needs is a gas burner on maybe a hot plate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you cook.
Direct, yeah.
You kind of cook the coffee.
Yeah. It boils coffee.
Like tea, like the way you do for tea.
It's not tea. Now, this is how it works. You open it. Has it got of course valves. It has a pressure switch.
Okay.
Which is this.
Okay.
This is a pressure switch. It's automated.
Okay.
Nothing else you need to do. All you need is to have your teaspoonful of coffee.
Okay.
Close to 20 grams. For instance, that's 1 to 20. Means that's one ratio. Then you put it here. And then you fill it with water first.
Okay.
Fill it with water here to this level. To that level, put in coffee.
Of the coffee.
Then again lock. So to a temperature of 89 or 90 degrees Celsius, it will have heated up.
Okay.
Remember, it's either on a gas plate or a griddle.
Okay.
Something that it goes direct with the temperatures. Then when the water heats up inside, it will, of course, by the force of the pressure switch, it will have to be pushed.
Okay.
So through that process, it goes through a tunnel, which is this.
Yeah.
So you have your complete beverage already where?
There.
This and then dispense.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's amazing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Then this is the manual grinder for those without grinders.
Yeah.
Then you want to have your selected beans. Of course, you weigh and put here your coffee and then
Yeah.
grind.
And then you grind. Okay.
Yeah. I know. I guess you must have encountered this somewhere. So this is simplicity, way of brewing, and enjoying cup of coffee, because this costs you something to do like $200. So
This?
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine you're having this and experiencing the true specialty selections. Yeah. So,
real.
however, it comes with a filter paper,
Okay.
which is this. This filter paper, it can be made local. These are trees.
Okay.
So these are innovations I'm also trying to come up with and see if we can begin like making them from here. Yeah. So
Okay.
all you need is, of course, now you need to turn on your scale. You bring your filter paper here.
Yep.
You pre-weight it.
Okay.
Yeah, pre-weight it. So I really want it to be free from the odors, etc. There, because it's paper. Yeah.
Okay.
Remember our gooseneck kettle has already a timer and and a thermometer. So water must be at 90. Yeah.
Okay.
Since it's a manual brew, water must be hot.
Okay.
Yeah. I can borrow this, of course, to clean my jar.
Yep.
I put it here. So this is a decanter. Then I bring my coffee
Oh.
from the grinder here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really feel the aromas. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So today's select is from Elgon.
Mount Elgon.
Yeah. You expect, of
Nice.
course, to have a clear cup
Okay.
that is sweet and clean, no sugar added.
Okay.
So you, of course, stir and make sure that you have a grind size that will definitely make you the best experience of coffee.
Okay.
So for this case, I'm going to make sure that I do 1 to 20 ratio.
Okay.
For consistency purposes, when I say 1 to 20 ratio, I mean it's one straight cup.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is just 1 cup.
Yeah, 1 cup. Then from here, of course, I'll tear again and then start.
Okay.
So here, this is where the experience comes in. This is a pour over. It's largely consumed in Europe and the US.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet in Africa. In Africa, we're used to commercial coffees where you have an espresso machine stationed. And very
Yeah.
expensive anyway for domestic use.
Yeah.
So we believe these are the exact brewing behaviors that we should be pointing at,
Okay.
and we believe that we see a shift from the traditional way of brewing coffee and then consuming it. Yes. So this is it. Unless you have a question.
Maybe my question is, you say this thing is $200. That's
Yeah.
very expensive for a normal person like me to be in a house.
Yes. We are in a third world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
But
are there cheaper options where I can drink good coffee that are
Yes.
brewed with the?
Yes, cheaper coffee. All you need is, of course, the right content.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
need
I don't
the-
want. I don't
you
want.
need the right content.
Not poor quality coffee, but like
yeah.
a tool that I can use that is not very expensive.
Yes, I would suggest we are promoting this. Have you encountered the French press?
Yes. In fact, I
it's
use the
in
French
same
press.
family
Okay.
of the pour over brewing devices.
Okay.
So, if you are familiar with the French press, for instance, it's one of them that you can apply.
Okay.
But
That's
at
what I'm
commercial
currently
level.
using actually.
Yeah.
at
But
home.
remember, as I said, each brewing device produces its own
Its
results.
own. Okay.
So the V60 brewing device definitely has a different, experience.
Okay.
Given, like for instance, that like the one that you can get from the French press.
Okay.
So that's
and
the
this is
reason.
premium now. The quality is more premium than say from a French press. Is that what?
This uses a little bit fine, and the French press uses a little bit coarse. When coffee is coarse, it builds up the acidity level and goes high. So you need to control it when you're at the grinding stage.
Okay.
You know the amount of the quantity that you're going
Okay.
to feed in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So our coffee is ready.
I can smell it. It's really nice.
So our coffee is ready for service, and then that's how we do it. That's how
This
we
is
do
it?
it. That's
This
how
is
we
like a
do
very
it.
simple process.
That's how we do it. And this is what really has made Kampala now love us more and more.
That's really good. So do you have, for someone out there who is an aspiring entrepreneur, because clearly you're an
Yes.
entrepreneur,
Yes.
what lessons do you have for him? What can you tell or her?
First of all, there are quite a number of lessons. the coffee value chain program is quite big. Yes, depending on where you want to start from. I chose this because it allows me to interface with many people who I have never met, who I don't know, and who I think can either add value to my life or I can add value to their life. But the cup side, because it's one section that completes the story, I believe is one area that is so profitable. Yeah, but however, it's profitable when its profit comes, of course, with the capital. You must inject it.
Oh, right.
However, right now I'm crafting up a model of $300 US. That's like $1 million plus in Uganda shillings. To see when you come to our academy, we're ready to scale you at some point and be able to be your own coffee shop owner.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's really good.
That's where we're heading.
And how does someone become a member of your academy? How does someone access it?
Beautiful. So how I'm interacting with the applicants is this: word of mouth. Yes, that's one. Two, I use my social media pages like Facebook, like WhatsApp, like Twitter. I paste there my the Google form, so they can be able to apply, giving their contacts. They give their emails, so I respond so fast. Then that's how I get them. Okay. However, I'm using that simpler method because I don't want a crowd.
Okay,
because I'm not yet all that. I'm trying using my small means, resources, make sure that I satisfy everyone. So, but as the conversation builds up, I know we shall of course go into media and then advertise and see how we can recruit these trainees.
Okay, so initially you're keeping it a bit
quiet
because you don't.
Because I know everyone will get excited and then come to the cafe.
No, I'm really excited. I feel like people should know about this.
Yes. So this is our cup.
Thank you.
Ready for consumption.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah. So, tell me.
I've never tasted coffee like this, and I drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah, it is.
It's very nice.
It's like so absurd.
It's mild, acidic, and
the acidity level is low. It's low, minimal. It's so absurd that I don't serve sugar here. I don't.
No, with this quality, you don't need sugar at all.
Listen, we don't have a sugar bowl in this shop. Yes.
And people come and...
We make sure that all the coffees you brew are of a standard.
Okay.
That does not require or ask any question to do with
sugar. No, you would be destroying it if you'd be destroying it.
Using your senses, try to listen. You'll find that you can figure out the flavors. Yes.
Because I'm with an expert, I'm not going to say. This is nice. But thank you so much for speaking to me. Do you have any last words?
Someone aspiring to become a coffee entrepreneur has this to do. One, create passion within you. Two, don't go by imaginations because the other brand is so big and it's what I want. No, you can start from wherever you are and become big or to close to that person. So I would say another thing is create networks. Understand someone you're going to work with, and the most important key person in doing this coffee business is a farmer. Befriend farmers, know them, read, do research. Make sure you're not taken by profits to make money and to become big and then cruise huge cars around town. No, live the passion, live the purpose, work hard, make sure that you save, make sure that you love what you do. People around you, people you work with, make sure that they are part of your life. That way you'll succeed in coffee business. Because it has taken me quite a number of years. I'm talking of an experience of 13 plus. So imagine the number of people I've interacted with along the supply chain, international engagements. It's quite big. So stick to that and make sure that you live with a purpose. That's all.
Thank you so much, Gerald. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it from Gerald Katabazi himself. The key thing for me is that he has an academy that he's keeping on the low, but please do apply to it and probably mention that you had it fast on the Damali Ssali Ideation Corner. He'll give you special treatment, but he will be building your capacity and then giving you a little startup capital, at least for you to begin. But thank you so much. Please do follow my YouTube channel on Damali Ssali and also on Facebook.